Yeah, network communication. Our main agenda is factors influencing the choice of digital communication in a network. So in these cases, the factors that affect network performance. That means your network will be speedy or it will be slow. So the points are which are the culprits to slow down or speed up your network. These are bandwidth, bitrate, number of users, types of network media, types of error checking, and poor hardware planning. Okay, bandwidth. What is bandwidth actually? Okay, imagine here the cable of a network are little like a river. If there are two rivers where the water is flowing at the same speed, but one is wider, that means one river is wider than others. So more data can be flowed down the second river, that means the wider river, even though the water is traveling at the same speed. Actually, if we say like this one, this is the river, that means this is the ISP cable, and from here this cable is sharing 2 points, that means it's delivering the net connection in 2 points from here. uh, when
Sir,
this
Shifa is in waiting room.
yeah
She,
Shifa, Shifa is waiting. Okay. So in this point the net connection is divided into two branches. Suppose this ISP is, or this ISP line, or this fiber cable line is it has bandwidth 10 Mbps, and it divides its speed 5 and 5. That means it divides two branches and divide the bandwidth in two sides, half of the original bandwidth, 5 and 5. And when it will goes down, that means when it will goes forward, that time there have also some points, and these points also divided into some points. So according to this way, the bandwidth will be divided into each branches. So in these cases, uh, if you have more branches on your area, then your bandwidth will be slow. Or they have supplied all of the, that means all of 10 Mbps on your line, so you have to pay more. And suppose we say sometimes that for 1 Mbps 500 taka per month, for 3 Mbps 600 taka per month, for 10 Mbps 1200 taka per month. Actually it will depend on some speed, that how much money you have to pay. That means more bandwidth, more payment. Okay, then the next one is that bitrate. Bitrate means uh, in your line, in each second, how many beats, that means how many characters or how many numbers are traveling from your computer to the internet, or from internet to your computer or your device. Actually we can find out this one by using maths, which is uh, the amount of file size divided by the amount of bitrate. sorry, amount of bit divided by amount of mbps or kbps, that means your bandwidth. File size divided by bandwidth. So in these cases, if you have more bit rate, then data will transfer more fast. Who is waiting here? Sorry. Okay, so bitrate will sometimes depend on your bandwidth. If you have more bandwidth, then data will pass more speedy and more data will pass at the same time. And another thing is that number of users. Suppose you have taken 5 Mbps bandwidth connection in your house, and sometimes you will see that your device net access speed is slow down. It can be any special days or any national days or any special days where some interesting play is happening. In that cases, more users use this bandwidth. Suppose in your house, in some general days, that means in working days, you are living 3 of your family members in your house and you are using 5 Mbps. But when in weekend, suppose you have 10 members in your house and they all of the members are using the net connection. That time what will happen? Actually, that time the bandwidth will be divided into all of the members. This 5 Mbps at the first time when you are leaving 3, that time you are using number of connection divided by bandwidth. Sorry, bandwidth divided by number of connections. Suppose 5 Mbps. So if we divide it by 3, then what will happen? It can be 1.5 like this. 1.5, yeah, quite a bit more. So you are using, suppose 1.7 Mbps. And when in your house there are 10 members and these 10 members are sharing this 5 Mbps, that time you will get only 0.5 Mbps. That means it will divide, that means the same bandwidth will be divided with more members. So in these cases, obviously your network speed will be slowed down. Understand?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then types of network media. We know that the LAN connection, that means the wire connection is more speedy than the wireless connection. So in these cases, if you use a wireless connection, that time you will get uh, a slow speed of the bandwidth or the network or network access. So you have to think about that, what type of network media you are using. It will also depend on your speed. And the next one, error checking. Error checking means when the sender is transmitting or when the sender transferring data to the receiver. In these cases, the receiver will check if there have any fault or any error in this data or not. So in these cases, when it depends some matters that what kind of error checking we are performing. Sometimes we are using firewalls or any other types of checking through which the data comes. So in these cases, the error checking, if you use different types of error checking, then you need times. That means at first, suppose there have at first we have set up a firewall. So here it will check at first if this is the authorized data or unauthorized data, or the request is authorized or unauthorized. So if it gets permission, then it will come to your memory or in your RAM, and here it will also check have there any errors of the data or not. Suppose I want to send a video to one of you. So in these cases, what will happen? If you are using a firewall, so firewall will check am I authorized user or unauthorized user. So if it passed, then it will go to the next session. That means it will go to your RAM and it will at first load this one. So here at first it will check have there any data loss or error. So here will also be checked. So in these two checks, there have sometimes it will spend sometimes. So it will also affect the performance of the network. Sorry, yeah, it will also uh, influence the speed of a network. And then the next one is poor hardware planning. Poor hardware planning means the imbalanced setup of your hardware. Say you have a high configured computer, so it can work with 64-bit of data, and you have set up some network devices like switch or hubs or any gateways which can cover, or wire means it can be fiber or it can be copper wire, which actually carry the 32 bits of data. So what will happen in this case? Although you have a high configured computer, but you are getting poor data. That is why your working is slow down or your performance is slow down. In the reverse cases, we can say if you have poor computer like Pentium, dual core, which can work, or operating system which will work with 32 bits of data, and your cable connection is high configured and it can carry suppose 62 bit of data or 128 bit of data. Although the data is coming to your computer, but your computer is poor. That means your computer is low configured. That is why it will take times, or it will also hamper the performance of the network access. Or other cases, it can be mm, mm, which one? I forgot this one actually. So this problem is called bottleneck problem. Okay. Bottleneck problem means in your bottle there are more spaces, but in the mouth of the bottle is quite narrow. So if you want all of the objects that is inside the bottle, you want to give out of the bottle, then you can't do this because your bottle mouth is narrow. That is why it will, what I am saying, Actually, if I say this one in Bangladesh, তাহলে এটা কি করবে যে আমার বোতলের মধ্যে যতগুলো জিনিস আছে একসাথে বের করতে চাইলে এটা বের হবে না। ওই বোতলের মুখে পরিধি যতটুকু ততটুকু পরিমাণ বের হবে। Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What time is it now?
45.
10:45.
10:45. That means I have 10 minutes or 5 minutes more.
10 minutes, sir.
Uh, uh, I also wanted to discuss about the wire connection and wireless connection, but you know about this. And for your clearance, I will send a sheet and you will read this one. Then you will get the solution and you will get read from this problem and how can solve this one.